Alrighty, today we are here to do a unboxing and a video review of a couple of different products from FUNLAB. So we have the Lumingrip power bank, which is going to be a really fun thing to try out, and we'll get to that here in just a minute. We have got the Firefly advanced wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch and other platforms, and then we have the Luminous enhanced handheld controllers for the Nintendo Switch. So today we're going to be talking about how they feel, the overall click of the buttons, the RGB background and how that looks once it's actually put on your Switch. We are also going to be talking about these in comparison to products like Hori, which is kind of the staple brand for our Pro controllers. So we've got a couple of different models here, and we will also be comparing them to the original Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. So to get started, we are going to begin unboxing, and we are going to start specifically with the enhanced wireless controller. So we're going to get in here, and I haven't actually looked at these yet, so I'm very excited to give them a try. And we are going to unbox, if I can get into them. Am I smarter than a box? The real questions. All right, and here we have a connector to hook us up, a little user guide, which we will refer back to here shortly. Alrighty, I can already tell that I like the packaging for this. We have got a nice cover that's going to protect the controller, and the weight is fantastic. Alrighty, and you can see here that the buttons are protected by foam. This is fantastic. We don't actually get that with other brands a lot of the time, and it gives us a little bit of a direction for how to get the light. Ah, yeah, and there it is. We've actually got a backdrop on, so I'm going to switch that off, and this is just in the low light here. That is so pretty, and as we hold it, it gets more vibrant. That is beautiful. So this is an RGB controller. The weight, that's the first thing that strikes me. It is very sleek. It is very pretty. We have got the D-pad here. I've always been a little bit torn about D-pads that are circular. I like the feel of D-pads that are broken out like this. It's a lot easier for me personally when I'm playing, but it is raised up and it's very responsive. The analogs are fantastic. They're crisp. They have a really nice response. I'm very excited to see how these play. The click has a soft pressure and then a hard pressure, which is nice. We're going to light it back up again. That is so pretty. I can't wait to play in the dark. The one thing I do wish is that the buttons also lit up, because they're a little bit hard to see. So we have the Nintendo Switch button controls here, and they do not have the RGB behind the button, which is just a little bit disappointing. But frankly, with how vibrant the rings are around the analogs, you know, that's fine. I will probably be that person squinting to see the buttons, because I've been playing video games for 30 years and I still have a hard time remembering what button is X. So you also can flip it over and see here. We've got the extra programmable buttons in here for people who like that. We have the turbo button, and we have nice snappy bumpers, which is fantastic. We also have that protected USB-C input that's very similar to the inputs here, where they're a little bit further back, which is great because it protects the cable once it's plugged in. Overall, again, when you compare the weight, this one is much heavier. It sits in your hands a lot like a Sony DualSense does. Feels really nice. Has a really, really good grip on it. It's very ergonomic. As you can see, I have really long fingers. Sits in my hands just fine. That's something that I like about these ones, because they do fit really well in your hand. Power A makes a really solid controller. So moving on from this one for now, we'll go ahead and set all of these aside. Move that out of the way. Alrighty, and we are getting to what I'm extremely excited to try out. We'll go ahead and set these guys aside for the time being, because we need the Nintendo Switch. Alrighty, so now we are getting into the Luminous. This is an RGB backlit Nintendo Switch Joy-Con set. They are Pro controller shaped, which is wonderful. And they also work off of the Nintendo Switch, which is not something that the Hori models are capable of doing. So we are going to be testing that out on tabletop mode. And we have the regular center piece here, which is perfect. So we'll set that aside for now. We've got our little how to use, another little cable. All right, and again, here we are with a really nice packaging. We can tell that it is snugly fit in there, so it's not scooting around. I've noticed that the packaging tends to correlate to Joy-Con drift. So for anybody who's curious about that. And again, right off the bat, this is a solid hand feel. We can see here that it fits. These are bigger than I was expecting, which I am delighted for. They have a nice shape to them. They're very ergonomic. They are very similar in shape to the Hori's. And the Hori split pad has always been my go-to. I get bad carpal tunnel, so I really like when things fit nicely into my palm. Nice, big, snappy buttons. I will say that the pressure on these, when we're comparing them to the Hori's got a little bit more of that you need to press onto it, which can sometimes feel to me a little bit more quality. But these are nice and raised. They're rounded, which is really nice. And again, we have this very nice snappy controller. I love when the analogs respond well. Yeah, these bounce nicely. And here we actually have my favorite thing. D-pad is actually separated out. It's not a circle. That gives it a huge bonus point for me. I really like when the D-pads are not circles. So we are going to compare them also to the Split Pad Compact by Hori. These are my current go-to. The Evolution set are just great. I really like them. They have the rubber grips on top. The analogs have a really nice snappy feel. I would say that like these are the great middle ground between a Pro shape and the regular Joy-Cons. Joy-Cons are just so tiny. However, these sit like very nice. They're a great shape. It's a lot less square. It fits beautifully to the curve of your hand. It feels like it's meant to be there. As where when you're holding the Split Pad Pro, these guys can feel a little bit cumbersome, a little bit chonky. You can actually see here that like my fingers have to extend extra far to hit those bumpers, which can be nitpicky, but when you're playing something like Hades, you want to be very responsive. It can be the matter of clearing a level or getting your butt kicked. So being able to reach those keys on the back is really nice. Again, you've got those programmables. Looks like the turbo is on the front here. You've got your home, you've got your snapshot. These are specifically for the Nintendo Switch. So let's go ahead and give them a try. We're looking at the Paldea exclusive Nintendo Switch OLED today. You can really see the size difference in comparison here. These guys, the traditional Joy-Cons, are just way too small for my hands. I always struggle with them. My fingers cramp up when I use them. So we're going to go ahead and slot these in. Beautiful. And we can already see just how gorgeous those look on the Switch. That is really nice. The shine underneath. Oh, are we getting that in there? Oh man. So we've already got one. Oh, yep, they're responding. Okay. Yes. So something that a lot of people know about the Hori Joy-Cons is that they do not turn this console on. They are not operating separate of the Switch. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just pop in. Oh yeah, that's a really nice feel. We can see that beautiful RGB background in there, which is just, it is stunning. The patterns are so beautiful. It looks way more vibrant and crisp than even on the pictures when I was looking online. Just absolutely gorgeous. We're going to come down to controllers. I believe that the controller vibrate. Yes, these vibrate. So you have the rumble on these, which is, again, something Hori doesn't do on either of its models. So you do have that. And I would say that the vibration when you're turning on the rumble, it's just a little soft. It's not bad. We're looking at the button mapping here. And looks good. So these are responding really nice to my Switch. They're nice and snappy. It is great. But yeah, so we pop in here. Now, these don't just stay blue. They change color. And I am going to quickly look at the manual to see how to change the color. Alrighty, so after a little bit of trial and error, we have figured out everything about the RGBs. So as you can see right now, we have 2 different types of RGB lit up. So the first thing I want to bring up is that you can control the vibration on the back by clicking here, and it will show you on either side how intense the actual vibrations are for the rumble. So if you want to change your backlights, this is a little bit tricky, but it takes just a second to figure it out. So you're going to want to hold the trigger and press and hold T. And as you, oh, I'm not holding T, I'm holding home. Nice. So here you can see this, that is how you change the color on these. And you can cycle through and have any of the colors listed there. Now, if you want to have a split color, so right now this one is currently just teal. If you want to do the split color, you can just hit your plus and turbo to set it to the color you like. I have it set to purple and blue on both sides, which is great. Again, the only reservation I have here is I wish there was backlight in those buttons. It would look so pretty, but I think it might also distract from the patterns. The glow is just gorgeous. I am very excited to see how these look in the dark. I do a lot of gameplay at night when my kiddo's asleep, so this is just a great way to play. I'm also noticing when you have it sitting, it just sits really nice, which is wonderful. So now we are going to give this a look in tabletop mode. So these function away from the Switch. This is something I am very excited about because it is usually just Joy-Cons that do this. So here we have these full functionality, but with pro grips. Usually if I want to play tabletop or if I want to play from docking, I have to get those guys out, my hands cramp up. These are fully separated, and we're about to give the Luminous grip a shot. So this is our last product for today. This is the brand new Lumingrip power bank. It is specifically for these Joy-Cons. They come in a lot of different colors. They match up with the different Joy-Con styles. Today's style matches up with our Legend of Zelda theme. And we're going to go ahead and slide this guy out and give it a shot. So already we can see that there is some design on these. And this feels very different than the standard. So the Joy-Cons do come with their own little mid grip to turn it into a little controller that you can use while you are detached. This is a lot thicker. It feels heavier. It matches the weight of the Joy-Cons themselves. So we're going to, yep, there we go. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. That is gorgeous. And now you have a full-sized controller that compares, it's actually bigger in a footprint to the Pro Controller, and it is bigger than the Power A. It actually hides the Power A, and it is a full RGB screen. So this beautiful front panel is just glowing so brightly. You can see what your charge is like. You can power this down if you want to power it down. But yeah, that is, it matches the design up through here and down along the bottom, and just a stunning display. This is just beautiful. I am blown away, frankly. You've got your power cable ports here. What I would recommend is making sure that your Joy-Cons are fully charged before you play away. But as we pop through here, let's see, I've got Fae Farm. So we'll just go ahead and open Fae Farm up. Huge shout out to Fae Farm. It is a great game. Phoenix Labs has released this amazing farming experience. The multiplayer is great. It's a perfect opportunity to test this out. We are now in the game. And as you can see here, Everything is working just the way it should. We have nice response times, no lag, no drops. I am noticing as I'm controlling that like the analog stick is very snappy, but it does feel a bit like it's going very far to either side, which is a little bit extreme. And I can tell right now it's because the ball joints on the Hori are a little bit smaller. So you can actually see that that shape is a little bit smaller, which makes the motions feel a little bit less dramatic. Here you have a very large joint on the analog stick, which isn't a bad thing. It's just different. Everything here is very snappy. I really like the weight of these. I especially like that the centerpiece with the Lumingrip is just, it adds an extra amount of weight and it actually balances the center so it sits in your hand really nice. It doesn't feel like it's going to flip out of your fingers. It doesn't feel like it's going to like break while you're using it. It just feels very high quality. If I were to compare or to pick between the Hori and the FUNLAB, I would probably pick FUNLAB. There's a lot of different reasons for this. I love Hori. I think they are great. I think that they have a lot of awesome shapes. I think that they are very portable. My big go for this one is that it actually fits in my traveling case. However, the fact that they don't work away from the Switch, it has always bugged the crap out of me. I really wish that they did. And they don't have RGB, which everybody likes something that glows. The rubber grips on top of Hori are really nice, and they still are one of my top products for my Switch. But there's just something really special about the FUNLAB. Like the glow, the amount of customization, the fact that you can customize how bright it glows. It works away from the Switch. I could buy 70 of these and I would not be satisfied. They are an 11 out of 10. And I don't say that lightly. I can tell that these are going to be a go-to, that I will go everywhere with them. I will travel with them. I will buy a separate case with cushions to make sure nothing bad happens to it. And I feel very much the same way about the Pro Controller. And the extra bonus of this guy is that it can be hooked up to your computer to play on Steam. It can be hooked to other consoles. As a matter of fact, if we look at it, it is compatible with Windows, iOS, SteamOS, and Android. So you can use this guy with a ton of different options. And again, very nice, very sleek, sits in your hand really beautifully. Powers on with that beautiful backlight. It's not quite as intense as the other one. I'm wondering if I need to turn up the backlight on it. But again, beautiful, beautiful Nintendo Switch accessory here. The backlight on these is going to make playing at night super fun. So a huge shout out to FUNLAB for letting us try these out. The products were provided for review, and I am so excited to do a long form review. So we will be back here in about 6 months to let you guys know what our experience is with these in the long form, if they remain a top contender, and if they continue to beat out Hori. Sorry, Hori. Sorry, Power A. But yeah, I think that FUNLAB has definitely taken the cake here.